We are on the Huntsville City Schools webpage. We will go to SchoolNet and type in my whole password and username. See if anything happens. There we go. Now once you get to your home page, this is your dashboard. Today we're going to create a test that you can use in your classroom to check how your students are progressing on mastery of standards. And I create them just as small quizzes. Go up to the top blue bar and the tab that says Assessment Administration or Administrator, it says Create and Monitor. You're going to click on Create and you will come up with a new page. You have a couple of boxes here. If you create the express test, this is quick and easy. The manual test can be done, but that's a way to write your own questions and things like that. So this is the easiest way to do quick classroom quizzes. So just click Start Now on the express test and you will go to the next page. You will give your test a name. I always use the standard just because that keeps straight for me which standards I'm actually looking at. And so today I'm doing Operations in Algebraic Thinking 4 for 3rd grade. The next box is your subject. This lists all the subjects all the way through 12th grade, so there's quite a few of them. I'm doing math today. Choose your grade level. Your test category is My Classroom. You can only create tests for your own classroom, and there is not a way to share them between other classes in your school or something. At least at this time. If that changes, we'll let you know. So the test category is My Classroom, and unanswered questions, I want those included in the score. The score type leave as total score, and then you get to your preferred standards document. There are several different documents that you can go to select test items, and when you click on the arrow, of course it opens them up. You have Alabama College and Career Ready and the Common Core, and then just the old Alabama Math and Science, a whole list. I'm going to choose the Common Core Math, and you are able to change that afterwards if you want to. And then there's a button that says Answer Key Only, and I put No. Test item settings, I leave these all the way they default. To enable text formatting, use item settings, enable student comments or teacher comments on answer sheets. Mine are just going to be multiple choice, so I put No. Student self-assessment, No. Hide item content from test results, I put No on this. That way the students can go back and we can look at the test. Enable tools and manipulatives, No. I just leave those as they default. At the very bottom you have a blue box that says Select Standards. Click right there, and next you will select the standards for this particular quiz. Now for classroom quizzes, I usually choose just a few questions. Once again, it shows the standards document that I selected, the subject and the grade level, and then it has a place where you can try to find an item. It's easiest to come down to this huge list of standards. The numbers along the left side tell you how many items there are available for each standard. The little plus sign next to each standard works just the way it does with our other programs and opens up more options. So I'm going all the way down to the bottom, the Operations in Algebraic Thinking standards. Now click on the plus sign, and I'm going to go on down here and choose, let's see, we go right here, that's 7, that's not the one I want. I'm just going to keep opening these until I find the one I want. As you see, as it opens up, it gives you different choices. Here we are. So now I have a choice of the 1, 2, 3, and 4 under the Operations and Algebraic Thinking, and I'm going to go to this one right here, unknown numbers in multiplication or division, you put a check in the box. I have 161 available items. Now obviously I'm not going to have time to look at 161, so I'm really glad there's another way to handle this. Go all the way down to the bottom and click on Add to Test Map. You can select as many different standards as you want. When you get to Add to Test Map, it will give you an option to select a number. Now, I've chosen just one standard to focus on for this quiz. There are 161 available items. I'm going to select 10. So I put a type of 10 in right here, and then I'm just going to click on the blue box, Build Express Test. Now, after just a moment, I'm going to have a test ready-made for me. There it comes. So now this test opens up, and this is called your test map. It shows you each item. Now here you can only see a part of an item. This is item 1 or question 1. There's a little word just says more. Just click on that and it will open up the whole question. This gives you a chance to preview the question and decide if it's something that you want to use. And it also shows you the answer choices and gives you the correct answer for the item. This one's fine, so I'll leave this one on the test. I don't do anything with it. The next one, I'm going to look at this one and open it all the way up. This one might be a little bit difficult because it's a 3-digit number, so I don't want to add that to my test right now. So I come over to this box here where it says Actions, and I can just remove it from the test. So I'll just remove this one from the test and go ahead and look at my next choice. So you continue on down and looking at the choices. This is fine. That's a straight division problem. That's good practice. It lets me know how they're doing with their division facts. And this is a word problem. It adds multiplication in here. That's fine. This one has a variable, but oh my goodness, it has 2 variables. And I don't think we're ready for 2 variables just yet. So I'm going to remove that from the test. I'll go right on, and this one is fine. So number 4 I'm going to leave on here. Number 5 is fine. 6. Oh good, here's another word problem. I do want a few word problems, so I'm going to leave that one. And number 8. Now I ended up with 8 questions for my test map, and since I want this to be a quick quiz just to give me an idea for a particular standard, that is plenty. When you get to the where you are happy with the number of items you have, the next important thing to do is to preview your online test. This step is very, very important because it shows you exactly what the children will see when they open this test up. So I moved over here to the box on the left under Test Actions, and we will just click Preview Online Test. Now the test will open up and it looks just the way it does for the children. I'll click Start Test Now, and now I can look at the questions and see if they fit what I want for the children. And this is just fine, so I'm going to click through these kind of quickly here unless I see something that looks odd. Now as you're previewing, you do want to check and make sure that the correct answer is there. And you also want to make sure on your test map that the correct answer is the one that is selected as the correct answer. Because there can be mistakes, and if there is a mistake in your test map, you want to correct it. Now this goes to your test summary. Obviously it says I did not answer any questions because I was just previewing. Just close out at the top and you go back to your test map. If you notice that there's a problem with a question, go back under Actions and you can go to Edit, and this will open up your particular question that you have to fix something on, and it will give you some choices. There's a lot of information at the top about the standard. You have to scroll all the way down, and then it shows you your test question, and it shows you the answer choices, and you can make changes or you can add teacher explanations and things down here at the bottom. So just always check your test questions carefully and make sure that you do have a correct answer available. Now at the very bottom of this it says return to test detail. That takes you right back to your test map. So we'll click on that, go back to our test map, and we have a quick quiz for my students to take to find out if they've mastered this particular standard. When you have finished preparing your test, you will go up here and click Ready to Schedule. It's a blue box at the top. And then it will say, are you ready to schedule this test? Once you click that you're ready to schedule it, if you click that OK, you cannot go back in and make any changes to this test. So this one looked good and I did preview it, so I'm going to go ahead and click OK on this. And now this test will be ready for me to schedule for my students to take. Now notice once I clicked that, this blue box up here changed and now it says schedule. When I'm ready to actually administer this quiz, I will go back into my tests and click schedule, and now this box opens up. It gives me a place to put in my start and end date for the quiz, whether I want it to be given over a few days or one day. And then down here at the bottom it gives you a list of things to look at, showing the student the scores upon when they submit the test. Will they know their score? And you can check the ones that you want on there. Most important is this passcode, and that is the code that the students actually put into SchoolNet when they're taking the quiz.
Can you point to that just so everybody can see it in the box?
There it is. So this is your passcode right here for your students when they go in to take this test. Now we're going to go back to our test detail, and actually I'm going to go back to my home page because I want to show you how to find the tests that you've created. They're quick to create, as you can see. So the same tab that we used to create the test, over here to the right it says find a test. So we just click right on there, and this is your test central, and you can find a test by putting in a test name, or this is my list of tests that I've created for my class. This is why I use the standard as my test name, because then I can quickly tell which standard I'm going to be checking. Now I'm going to open up the reading test right here, and I want to show you a couple of things on this. When you preview the online test, oh, you know what, Mrs. Shorter? We can't preview the online test.
You assigned it.
I assigned it. Okay, that's okay, don't worry. I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you how to do this anyway, because where there's a will, there's a way. So we're going to go back because this is important, and I'm going to quickly create a different reading test. And show you. Now on reading, when you go in here, it's under English Language and Literature. So we'll just quick do a reading test. And I can show you something that's kind of important when we are doing the there we go. When we are doing the preview, online preview with the reading tests. Let me just quickly go in and select my standards, depending on how quickly it moves. Alright, here we go. Now, when you see these zeros under available items, that means there are no test questions for those. So, just so you know. Now there are plenty of test questions down here. I'm going to open this up, and I want to do reading literature, and I'm going to open up key ideas and details, and I'm going to choose the number 1 here, and I'm also going to do characters, because that's something we're working on. So I'll add that to my test map, and I'm just going to choose 3 items of each one, I'm going to put 5 in this bottom one so I can have a few to discard. And build express test. Now I'm going to build this and I'm not going to schedule it so that I can go in and change it. I want this to be quick. But you'll notice when you open up the reading test, the passages are quite long with these questions. And that goes right along with us preparing our kids for more rigor. So they are a little bit lengthy at times. Now, the questions are underneath the passages, so you have a chance to look at the passage and also then look at the question. So I'm just going to leave these questions on the test just so that we can, for practice purposes, see what happens when we go to our preview of online. So I'm just going to leave all of them on there and go over to preview my online test. This again is under test actions. So we'll just assume that I like all of those questions. Now, we're going to go to Start Test Now, and I'm going to show you what happens. Ah, look at this one. This one came up just right. We have the passage to the left and the questions to the right. So that's perfect. Let's see if it happens the next time. Wow. This is working great. Look how easy this is going to be for your students. Oh, wait a minute. What is wrong with this one? All right. Whoa. All right. This might be confusing for my kids because they've got the story up here and the questions down here, and there's double scroll bars. So I am going to go right out of my preview, and I'm going to find question 6 on my test map and see if I can fix that. So I'm going to question 6, and I'm going over here to Actions. Go to Actions and go to Edit. Now when this comes up, again, it gives you a chance to make changes to the test question. On your reading test, right here, it says Online Layout. Now remember, we were having to scroll down and then we had to scroll again to see the question. So we want to move this so that we have selected this layout. That puts the question to the left and the answers to the right, or the passage to the left and the question and answer choices to the right. So now I've moved that layout to there. I'm going to click Save. And now I'm going to go back and preview my online test again and see if it fixed it the way I wanted it to. So we're just going to click through to question 6. Ah, that is much easier. So now we have the story right here, and they can scroll up and down, and the question is right here. That is very important, especially for our younger students. So you can continue right on through your test preview, and notice all of the others are set up that way already, so that's excellent. So this one is also ready for me to schedule. Now I did not actually read all of this, so I'm not going to schedule this one until I've had a chance to actually check it a little closer and make sure that it's the way that I want it. But you can see that it's very easy to build these SchoolNet classroom tests. There is not a way to share them between classroom teachers, but they're quick to make for your own class, and it gives you an easy way to check for mastery of standards, and it also gives your kids some practice in using SchoolNet. So I hope you find it helpful.
Thank you, Sharon. One more thing. Where did you go online? Firefox, Google Chrome?
Yes, very important. It works best through Google Chrome. I'm so glad you remembered that. Google Chrome is the best way to do the test. So, can you think of anything else?
I think that's it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I hope it helps.